capable of doing. Like I said, it can take down cell towers, so then no longer can people communicate, right? You can't use Waze, you can't use text message, you can't use your cell phone. And if you coupled that with some sort of other event, right, associated with UNGA, or, use your imagination there, they could be catastrophic to the city. Definitely nation state, foreign governments communicating over that network to known criminals in the United States and known organized crime, known cartels, and terrorist groups were using this network to run their communications anonymously and encrypted.
Now, this story blew my mind, and it is worth the deep dive we are about to give you. That was Matt McCool, the special agent in charge of the Secret Service's New York field office, who discovered this network of 300 co-located SIM servers, 100,000 SIM cards across multiple sites surrounding New York. Now, as you can see here, the servers are all around. They're in Armonk, New York, Greenwich, Connecticut, Queens, and New Jersey. And McCool told the Associated Press, quote, definitely nation-state foreign governments were communicating over that network to known criminals in the United States, and known organized crime, known cartels, and terrorist groups were using this network to run their communications anonymously and encrypted. Now, look, these devices, they do not pose a threat to the New York City area anymore, but listen closely to this. McCool says that it would be unwise to think that networks like this are not all across the country.
Could there be others, right? It would be unwise to think that there's not other networks out there being made in other cities in the United States, and that's going to be part of our investigation. We're going to run down every single lead.
Well, let's bring in House Intelligence Committee Chairman Rick Crawford. Chairman Crawford, I was so happy to have you join me today. I heard this story. I simply could not believe it. And apparently the impetus for finding these servers around New York City was the fact that there were government officials who were being swatted. Elise Stefanik, Susie Wiles, Pete Hegseth, there were others as well. And swatting means that someone calls and emergency services turn up to your home. It's a dangerous situation. And from those interactions, they traced this to a network of servers that could take down cell towers. Tell us what happened.
Well, first off, credit where credit's due. The Secret Service did a good job intercepting this, making sure that that didn't happen. But it really points to a bigger problem. That's the ability of nation states and or proxies to be able to operate in our very permissive society, and using technology like this that has the potential to really wreak calamity, and particularly at a time, when the UN General Assembly is taking place, and you've got not only the President of the United States, but other heads of state present for that. This could have been absolutely catastrophic. The ability to, as Agent McCool indicated, the ability for them to create chaos through this vast network is more than just troubling. It puts us in a very difficult spot. And the reality is that we have a very permissive and open society, and we have to harden our country and protect the American people. And that's just what the Secret Service did, but it also opens up this other area of conversation. What are we doing in the counterintelligence space to thwart these types of events and prevent them from happening in the future?
Now, Chairman Crawford, you're the head of the House Intel Committee. You are getting this intelligence. And I just want to know, as an average American sitting here, you hear a cell phone tower could be taken down. You think, oh, okay, maybe I can't use my phone for a moment. But it's so much bigger than that. If there was a mass casualty attack on U.S. soil and an inability to call emergency services, McCool said, I cannot overstate what this would do, the potential for disruption. What would that look like?
Well, this is a tactic that you might call prepping the battlefield. And that is to say, an adversary might be able to do this and then be able to launch an attack, prevent an adequate response. As you indicated, what would that mean from the standpoint of a mass casualty attack and our inability to respond to it? Or can they target specific areas, maybe hospitals, maybe first responders or whatnot? Yes, obviously they can. These are very sophisticated actors, as has been indicated. So it definitely presents a challenge for us. We do have agencies that have eyes on this, as evidenced by the fact that this was intercepted. The good news is these interceptions take place all the time. It's just that we may not necessarily hear about it. But what we don't want to hear about it, we want to know that this is being taken care of and we can go about our lives. We live in a free and open society, and we have adversaries that want to take advantage of that. And we need people, as the Secret Service is part of that, to make sure that they're protecting American people. And so that's what we seek to do. And we need to be much more proactive and diligent on the counterintelligence front to prevent these kinds of things from happening in the first place.
Without question. As you said, all credit to the Secret Service here. Phenomenal work. Chairman Crawford, thank you very much.
Yeah.